Hello, everyone. Welcome to OFR Round 6, the British Grand Prix, with 2 races remaining of the season. This is your penultimate race, and as the drivers are ready to start their qualifying laps, let's get right into this race.
Side by side with now, actually. Milsek struggling a little bit here. Scotty's got the inside line and he makes the pass as they go into maggots there. Oh, he's spun! Stinson's spun! He's spun! Oh, and he's reversing and he's just hit someone off the track as well. Oh, look at this, look at this, it's Stinson! Stinson's dropping down, he's in 6th place, he's spun! Stinson's spun, he's waiting for the cars to pass him. Through the final corner now, Isa is champion of the world. He's done it.
Welcome, everyone, to the stream. Round 6 of OFR, and qualifying is already underway. We're starting to see the cars pile out of the pits, and in the front is the Haas of Lefkir, the Hungarian driver who had raced last week as well. A good debut performance from him. Can he improve or continue even this streak of success as he leads the cars out of the pits? Dr. Robot behind him, and I think the big thing we're forgetting last week, a win from Wukarda, erased by the stewards after a late and dangerous move on Focus at game in the last turn, giving Focus the win, giving Tommy the P2, and demoting Wukarda to the final podium position. So I would like to introduce everyone to the OFR champion, back-to-back World Drivers Champion with 2 races remaining. It is Focus at game and the Alpha Tower heading through Brooklands there. What a dominant performance it has been from him all season. But let's ride on board with Lefkir, who's setting a banker on the mediums now as he heads through Vale, through this final corner here, and he starts his first lap, the first lap of the session. Lefkir in the Haas. Let's see how he can do as he goes through turn 1 and 2. There's going to be a Red Bull to come out of the pits right there. He's going to slow down, let the Haas by. Sector 1 here, really important. Through 3 and 4, the exit onto this straight here, the Wellington Straight, is really important as it will dictate your Sector 1 time. A bit of traffic up ahead. There's a couple other people starting their laps. Dr. Robot, Black Mercedes, Logo James, and Goblin. Both the Williams is out as he heads through Brooklands here. Lefkir riding up against the curve there, maybe a little bit wide on the exit. And using all of the track there. He's going to pass the Mercedes. So that Alpha Tauri just not really moving. I think that was Monkey Man Matt maybe thinking he'd left the Haas enough space, but I think Lefkir would disagree with that one as he heads into the Sector 2 Maggots and Beckett's corner complex here. Maggots through Beckett's, and now Chappelle, I would say arguably the most important one as he brushes up against the side there. A 3.8, maybe a bit underwhelming, but for a Haas on the mediums, not too terrible. Purple for now, the first 1-2 set a time as he heads through Stowe here. And Lefkir, only 1 corner complex remaining, and he will complete his time and will be in the 28s, I believe, somewhere, maybe 27s. And Lefkir is going to cross the line. It's going to be 27.6, which will be enough for a provisional pole. Now, Dr. Robot, quite a bit slower through Sector 1, Sector 2 there, but look at the traffic that he's in, and that Mercedes is going to just move out of his way there. I think that's perfection. Oh, and he's spun. He's into the grass. That's gonna hinder him quite a bit. And neither Lego James or Dr. Robot are able to best Lefkir's time in the Haas, but Goblin in the Williams takes provisional pole position while the Black Mercedes moves up into P4. Who else about to finish a lap? Nico with a 3.5. He's done fairly well in qualifying so far, while Wukarda takes P2 slower than Goblin, which is not a sight we usually see. And Tommy PLR beats out Goblin by 300ths of a second. So Nico had that purple middle sector. He's in this McLaren. Can he beat their times? And it looks like he just about won't be able to. And it's a 27.185, but Focus with a 27 flat. So look at how close these times are. Even Illercon with a 27.4. And Tim Blaish, I mean, I just genuinely don't know what he's doing sometimes. There were accusations of left gear being drunk before the race, but I think maybe Tim Blaish is at the moment. I can understand coming out on the mediums to set a banker, which is what a lot of people do, and what Tim Blaish tends to do. But he's now just come out on the hards to set a banker, and he's still somehow managed to pull off a 27.6, a whole second and a half faster than his teammate. Reshkone and Monkey Man Matt both on laps. Reshkone with a really slow sector 2, but he's going to elect to complete the lap. Monkey Man Matt crosses the line. That's an underwhelming P8. Only 300ths of a second faster than Tim Blaish, who is currently on the hards. So 14-15 people set a time, and both the Red Bull is at the back. Germs, I would assume, making a bit of a mistake there at 28.5 through sector 1 means he's up 14 seconds, though that would only be enough to beat his teammate and no one else on the grid. So let's see if he has time remaining in sector 2 here. A bit of a weird approach to Beckett's, and a bit of a weird one through Chappelle as well, but it's going to be a 4.8 for Germs, which would move his time up to a 1:30 if he continues this, and still, though, only able to beat out Reshkone and Perfection now. Let's see if he has a bit of time left through sector 3 there, and you could hear the gearbox is not really fitting well with his driving style as he invalidates there. A bit of a wheel spin through Vale, and he's going to complete his lap time anyway, though it won't be counting, and it's a 29.3, so it would have just about beat out Dr. Robot, but no one else. King Mural on the in the Haas, sorry, who was not here last week, nor for Netherlands, I think. I mean, he wasn't here for the Netherlands, nor the week before that, but we've seen him back in the Haas, and on his outlap now, one of the only drivers out on track. I think Tommy actually out on track at the moment too, and up on his time. Tommy, the man who almost won last race after making a bold strategy call to go out on the inters while it was still dry during the safety car, led the race for like 6 or 7 laps, then got overtaken by Wukarta, then got overtaken by Focus. Bit slow there through that corner complex, but we'll see if it works out for Tommy, and yes, it does. He's up 1/10. He'd need 500ths of a second, 5,000ths of a second more to beat out Focus in that Mercedes, and Tommy PLR is going to be pushing hard because it's going to be him versus Mega Player versus Nico for that P2 position, and look at Nico just sat in P4 at the moment. A bit of a dark horse there as Tommy loses it through Vale. Unlucky for the Mercedes, and he's going to cross the line. It's going to be a 27.8, but he lost a big amount of time there, and I think that should have been at least a second, so maybe a sign of things to come. Tommy has a bit more time left in that section of the track. Black Mercedes on a lap at the moment as well. Not too many people. And then meanwhile, Reshkone with a 27.3. He's made up for his earlier mistake there and goes P6. On the timing sheet is Black Mercedes struggling with front wheel grip there as he heads onto the Wellington straight into Ferrari. Will he be up on his time? He's going to pass that out for Romeo there, and he's down 2:10. So let's look at Mega Player now. Yeah, so he did just pass Mega Player. Matt Missile, a new Alpine driver. We have not seen him yet so far this season. And Arthur Kostrewa, still yet to set a time, and both still in the pits. And Mega Player and Tommy, the two big contenders for P2. Tommy edging out Mega Player at the moment by 6 points because of a Mega Player DNF at the Dutch Grand Prix. A Mega Player here cruising in fifth gear through Maggots and Beckett's. Not much else happening around the track. Actually, King Mural about to come up behind the Alfa Romeo as he heads through Maggots and Beckett's, but this looks like it's going to be a rather slow time through Sector 2. It's going to be a 6.7, so not really a representative time either, but Mega Player pulls over, and he's going to let the Haas by. Tommy goes back into the pits. Let's take a look at Nico, where he is at the moment. Nico just about starting a lap, sits in P4, but again, only less than 2/10 off pole and less than a 10th off the front row. And oh, Nico, he's lost it through turn 3 there. And oh, how unlucky is that? Nico loses it in Sector 1. he's going to have to abandon his lap, and we'll see if he stays out for another lap. His teammate Showcrime, meanwhile, sits P12 with a 28 flat. And the other battle that we're looking forward to is the battle for P15. Showcrime versus, where is he? Dr. Robot, and only 2 places separate them at the moment in qualifying. While Left Gear goes fastest with a 26.9, only again very slightly beating out Focus for that pole position by, I think, 3 or 200ths of a second. No, a bit more than that. Mega Player in the 26s for Sector 1. That's going to be an allegedly purple Sector 1. He's going to go a little wide there through Brooklyn's, but using all of the track provided to him. A nice turn down the old pit straight there. Now through Cop's Corner. Is this going to be good for Mega Player? Is he going to invalidate? No, he doesn't. Keeps it nice and clean. Really easy to invalidate through that corner as well as through Maggots here. But he comes through Maggots and Beckett's. And it looks like his exit through Chappelle is going to be very good as well. He's flying a 2.9 through Sector 1. And if I didn't know better, I'd say he could be on for a provisional pole right now. Mega Player, I don't think he's had any poles yet this season. A win, 1 win to Focus's 4, as through Stowe there, sliding the car a bit. Now comes through Vale. 1 corner remaining. Is he going to be able to take provisional pole position? Mega Player crosses the line, and it is going to be pole position, and it is by half a second. The Alfa Romeo with a stunning lap to bust the gap wide open between P1 and P2. And look at that, it was less than half a tenth between Left Gear and Focus originally. Now it's over half a second between Mega Player and Left Gear. So how are the rest of the grid going to be able to respond? I think Nico actually stayed out, and he's up now 3/10, which could potentially rival Mega Player's bid for pole. And Wukarda jumps out of Focus as well with a 9.86, 18 thousandths off Left Gear's 9.68. And if Nico can continue this on old tires, potentially we could see him do even better on newer ones as he heads through Chappelle. Is this going to be faster even than Mega Player? It's going to be 3 flat, so he's up 4/10. Not as fast as Mega Player, but if he can just pull off a better third sector here, he's on for a 26.7, which will easily be P2, but not close to P1 as he is a little narrow line through Stowe there, and he loses it a bit. He's still got it going, I think. He's going to finish the lap, but that's going to cost him a bit of time. Nico crosses the line. Yep, 26.9 will take P2, but not as comfortably as he may have hoped, though he did lose what would be about 2/10 there through Vale. And take in mind that this is on old tires, so Nico could potentially be in it to win it for pole position. Meanwhile, Tommy having a go here. He lost it through this turn there earlier on his last run, but he's going to nail it this time as he's going to brush up against both curves on the left and the right side, nicely gliding through with the Mercedes, the home team here at Silverstone, and a 27.6 for Tommy. And I'm not sure. I thought I saw a Mega Player do a 26 something. So that Sector 1 may be the reason that Tommy is not anywhere near pole at the moment. Down 1/10 on his time. Will he be able to improve? The bulk of the time, remember, last time was through Sector 2. Let's see if he can make that up through Maggots and Beckett's. He's got a McLaren, I think that is in front of him. That's going to be Showcrime. No, that's going to be Nico on his in-lap. Tommy, is he going to be up? Is he going to be down? He's up 2/10 there. So making up 3/10 through that wavy portion. And this could be now a challenge for P2 if he can just get a solid Sector 3 there. Tommy, oh, and he's lost it through Stowe, and he's going to head into the wall there. That could potentially be rear wing damage for the Mercedes. And is that commentator's curse from me saying that he could potentially put in a bid for P2 and just bins it into a wall? Monkey Man Matt, who sits P8, is starting a lap here. The Alpha Tauris have not looked good at all, though Focus only setting 1 lap so far. Monkey Man Matt, I believe this is his 3rd run, could only be his 2nd. Let's see if he can put in a bid for pole. He has been in the battle recently, even at Netherlands. But Monkey Man Matt sitting down in P8. An underwhelming performance so far, lest that be said, and it's going to be a 27.6, very similar to Tommy's time. Up 0.05 of a second through Sector 1. Monkey Man Matt following the exit out of Brooklyn's. Yeah, not nearly going as wide as some of his counterparts there, but does brush a bit up against the right side of the old pit straight. 3.5 minutes remaining as Matt Missile retires from the session and leaves without setting a single lap. And neither has Arthur Castrewa, though. He may be serving a quali ban. I'm not sure if he is or not. Monkey Man Matt through Chappelle, a little weird. Losing the rear end there just a bit, but he's going to have a 3-2 going for him, and that's going to be 1.4 tenths up. Now let's see if he has a little bit of time left in Sector 3. Otherwise, he's just going to be improving his time without moving up any positions, as he's been now demoted to P9 by Goblin. Or no, by Tim Blaish, who sets a 26.9, by the way. Sorry for missing that, but just didn't expect Tim Blaish to set a proper lap on softs. And as I say that, Monkey Man Matt rockets into P2 with a 26.8. So really, yeah, it was just that third sector for the AlphaTauri driver, and that's more like it from them, as Tim Blaish sits currently P3 after doing a lap with softs. I think that's probably going to be the last lap that he does. Meanwhile, Left here out on track 2. He was in provisional pole for a while. Can he try and take that back, or will it be Mega Player's stunning lap from earlier on in the session that takes pole position? Mega Player still sitting in the pits. He's going to elect not to come back out, it seems, unless he's just waiting quite a while. Left here through Cop's corner there, heading into Maggots and Beckett's. Will the Haas be able to reclaim his earlier provisional pole position? And he's flying through Maggots, flying through Chappelle. Is he going to be up on his time? It's going to be a 2.9 for Left here, and he's up 3.6 tenths of a second, but it won't be enough for P1. He needs another 2 tenths through this last sector here. Otherwise, he will have to suffice for P2, and Vale is going to be the make it or break it. And yep, there we go. Mega Player comes out of the pits. Very late exit for Mega Player. Really playing with fire here. Left here, crossing the line. Will it be provisional pole? It will be by 6 thousandths of a second, and he did the job that was in front of him. He knew the task at hand, and he completed it with relative ease. The Haas back on provisional pole position with a 26.457, and now Mega Player has work to do, but very little. 6 thousandths of a second he has to make up, but first he has to get to the line now, and if he keeps going slowly, that won't happen. He has a minute left until the checkered flags come out, and it is going to be push, push, push to the lap for to the line for the Alfa Romeo. Nico as well going on a lap. Tommy just starting his lap now. We have a bunch of contenders starting their laps. Is that Showcrime? No, Showcrime is in Sector 1 at the moment. Let's see how he can do. We'll be trying to monitor everyone as best we can. Resh going into P11. Focus on an outlap as well. Everyone out on track at the moment. Showcrime, is he going to be able to improve through Sector 1, potentially put in a bid for the top 10? 27.7, he's up 2 tenths. Illercon on a lap as well, unless he's on an in lap. But he's going to head through turn 5 here. Illercon, let's see if he's up in the Ferrari, sitting P9 right behind Tommy. We'll only need to make up half a tenth. Illercon, he is up 2 tenths as well. Look at this, Tommy heading through, I believe, yeah, that is Brooklyn's, but he's not on a lap. So he's going to take P8 as he heads slowly down the old pit straight here, as Monkey Man Matt is out of the session. Is that just a crash, or did he retire from the pits? It looked like the Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri was coming out of the pit exit here. But Focus at Game is up 2 tenths of a second. Has Mega Player started his lap? He has, and he's just about made it to the line. Let's see if he's going to be up. If not, then Left here and Focus may be the ones battling it out. He's going to get a bit of a tow down the straight here, and he's up almost 2 tenths. So Left here is in serious trouble at the moment, and Focus invalidates. Focus through Cop's corner has invalidated. So that's going to rule him out of contention for pole position. Nico is up 700ths of a second, but that won't nearly be enough for P1. The best he can do at the moment is P3. And is Illercon on the lap? No, he's going to come into the pits. Nico heading through Vale here as a lot of people take the checkered flag. Will Nico rocket up to the second row, or will he stay in the third row? Nico crosses the line. It's going to be a 26.474, almost taking pole, and Nico put it into the wall. He's lost his rear wing, or sorry, his front wing and his front tires, and will Left here take pole position. It looks like it. LeBron James comes into the pits. Perfection's going to cross the line. Black Mercedes not on a lap, and Left here takes pole position, but an incredible effort by Nico, just losing out on pole by 200ths of a second, and Mega Player binning it into the wall on the exit of Chappelle down the hanger straight, guarantees left gear his first ever pole position in OFR. What an end to qualifying, and not the one I expected. Focus invalidating Tim Blaish with not enough time to set a lap, and Nico out of nowhere summits that lap. But it was all for naught as the McLaren takes P3. Still a valiant effort from him and a good place to start off here in Britain. But left here, the main headline here in the Haas takes pole position, and he will start from the front grid slot for this race by 6 thousandths of a second. He's going to have that Alfa Romeo Mega Player right next to him, and Nico right behind him, Monkey Man Matt in P4, Tim Blaish in P5, Wukarda in P6, Focus 7th, Tommy 8th, Lillercon 9th, Goblin 10th, Reshkone in 11th, Lego James 12th, King Miro 13th, Showcrime 14th, so he's currently leading Dr. Robot. Perfection 15th, Black Mercedes, who is for whatever reason stuck in the gravel here, 16th, and he's been disqualified from the session. Is he going to start from the back of the grid now? I'm not sure. Dr. Robot in 17th, and Germs with the lackluster time in 18th. And Arthur Kostrewa and Matt Missile both unable to set a time. So there it is, your qualifying results, and almost a Hungarian 1-2 here with left here in first and Nico in third. But look at the gap, 17 thousandths of a second from P3 to P1, 6 thousandths of a second from P2 to P1, and 11 thousandths of a second from P3 to P2. I mean, these times are just so small, like the human brain can't even comprehend 6 thousandths of a second. By the time you blink, probably more than 6 thousandths of a second has passed. So just incredible showing from these two. And I'll scroll down so you can see the back of the grid here. So Black Mercedes has been DSQ'd. I think that's a bit unfair from the game. So he's going to start from P20 instead of P16. But that moves Dr. Robot up a position. Same with Germs, Matt Missile, and Arthur Kostrewa. When we head away on our formation lap, let's take a look at our grid once again. So for the first time this season, a Haas is starting at the front of the grid. And let's take a look at some of the tire strategies as well. So everybody basically starting on the mediums in today's race, except for 4 individuals, 2 on the hards, 2 on the softs. And Mega Player once again complaining about the strategy, asking for a restart. And what just happened here? Nice. Great. Good people. I will be purchasing a new OBS for next race. Nice. Hold up. All right. We may need to take a temporary intermission here while I reset this. Yeah. So I will be right back as I figure this out. And it should only take me about a minute or so. But if this keeps lagging, I'm gonna have to stream from my PlayStation. But I will be getting a new